What's up, guys? Hope you all are having a great day today. Before we hop into the commentary, I just want to let you guys know a little something about Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Yes, I'm going to be taking a decently long break from this game. I think I'm just done playing it. It doesn't really interest me anymore. Nothing about the game really sparks anything with me. I'm just not feeling Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Especially with Call of Duty Modern Warfare around the corner, creeping right on up with the beta. I just don't see any reason, any incentive to hop on Black Ops 4 and just play it. I'd honestly rather just sit here and play some good old, traditional Call of Duty 4. This game is so much fun. I prefer playing this game over a lot of the other titles that are out right now. That's how I've been pretty much spending the majority of my time. Just playing Call of Duty 4 and Battlefield 4. But just know that my final impressions on Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will be coming out very, very soon. I'm just prepping up some ideas. I'm getting some things sparked up for it. So I'm just trying to make that video very good for you guys. So it might take a little bit, but trust me, the wait will definitely be worth it for my final impressions of Call of Duty Black Ops 4. But today I just want to talk about the Spec Ops that are coming out in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Because as you guys already know, the old school Spec Ops that we know and love from Modern Warfare 2 is going to be making a return in Call of Duty Modern Warfare. But honestly, there's going to be some things that they're going to have to change. Some things that are going to have to be adjusted to fit and, I guess, just survive in the current way that games are made nowadays. It seems like the attention span of a lot of the players who play these games, or just all games in general nowadays, compared to how it used to be, has just shrunk by a lot. Like, seriously, people can't enjoy the game anymore for what it is. Now, of course, there's both sides to the story. A lot of games just aren't released with any content. A lot of games just don't have enough maps to keep people interested, enough guns to keep people there. Games just aren't completely made. They're made completely, they're like cut in half, and then they release the rest of the content behind paywalls. So honestly, I understand how everybody feels about this type of stuff and why games have to go on this live service route where they have to continuously update their game pretty much 24/7 to keep everybody interested in their title. If they don't do this, people will just fall off and they'll probably go find another game. A game that decides to add in plenty of content every week or every 2 weeks into their store, or give you a new map every single month. There's plenty of games out there nowadays, so obviously they're going to have to adapt, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare cannot leave Spec Ops in the dust. I don't want this to be a useless game mode like it used to be back in the day. Now, it wasn't useless, obviously, in Modern Warfare 2. Spec Ops was still tons of fun, but it just, how can I put it? It's kind of like a one-time thing. You play it through, maybe you'll revisit it to try to master it and get the max amount of stars on the mission. But other than that, once you complete everything like that, it's done, it's over. So obviously they're going to need to add more missions openly, just like how they were adding in free DLC. But this is my problem with the free DLC. I just hope it doesn't take so long, like Battlefield 5 turned out. As you guys all know, a lot of you guys are Battlefield fans who watch my channel as well. But Battlefield 5 is in a horrible state of where they offered us free content. They're like, okay, no paid anything. Maps are free, guns are free. We're only going to be asking for skins. And then what happens is, the game just craps itself. They don't release any content. There's no maps in the game. They don't release any new maps for the game. It just it kills the atmosphere of the title that you're making. So if they can nail this, if they could keep adding in maps to their game, I really think they have something going on here. But they have to keep adding them in. They can't take these breaks of like 3-4 months without giving any DLC or any new weapons. They're going to have to be on top of it. And they're seriously going to have to release a good amount of maps too. If there's not enough base maps in the game, there's going to have to be plenty of DLC maps added into the game. Now, of course, if there, is tons of not DLC maps, but tons of base maps in the game, then I'm not worried about it. You could release one map every month, and I'll be happy. But just in case they decide to not do that, and there's no maps in the game, They're going to have to make sure that they release DLC, and especially for Spec Ops as well, because Spec Ops alone is hard to populate. Now, Spec Ops isn't like zombies, where you can keep coming back and lasting and surviving and ranking up and stuff like that. Spec Ops is, I guess, it's almost like campaign, but a co-op campaign with a different storyline, of course. So Spec Ops needs some special attention. You can't just push it aside and, you know, add a map every 2-3 months and then continuously focus on multiplayer. Which, honestly, I wouldn't mind. I love multiplayer. Honestly, if it was me personally, I would just want them to focus on multiplayer. Because multiplayer is where I'm going to end up anyways. But at the end of the day, for the mass majority of the people who are playing Call of Duty, Spec Ops needs to be something. So please do not cut out on the content for this game mode. Also, another amazing way that you could spice up Spec Ops is by adding in survival as well. Now, for those of you that know Modern Warfare 3, Spec Ops was pretty much switched out for survival mode, which you could survive waves of enemies and see how long you can last. Which is great. I love that idea. And honestly, I find it hard to believe that they wouldn't add that into Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Seems like such an easy concept, and they had so much time to develop this game, and they're showing us all of this content with this game, so it looks like they're on top of it. So honestly, I feel like survival is already going to be in there with Spec Ops. So you'll have the campaign-styled missions that you could do, but also on the side you can hop into Spec Ops missions. But then on the side you can also hop into little survival missions as well, just to see how long you can survive waves of enemies. Just to add an extra spice to the game mode. You know, the more content, the better when it comes to game modes and maps and stuff like that. Spec Ops is, like I said before, it needs special attention. The more the merrier for Spec Ops. You know, multiplayer, you can add 1,000,000 guns, but at a certain point, certain guns are just going to be useless and you won't even touch them. So, you know, the more content in multiplayer, it kind of varies. But when it comes to Spec Ops, it's such a bland, basic mode. So the more content is always better. Always better. You can never put too much content for Spec Ops, because the more the merrier. The more that there is in this, the more replayable the game mode is. And also one last thing that I want to chuck into this commentary about Spec Ops is the fact that this company, Activision, has made billions off of Call of Duty microtransactions. Billions, and that doesn't even count for the $60 official price of every single Call of Duty title that sells millions of copies every year into their pockets. I want some of that money to be invested into a team that specifically works on Spec Ops. Me personally, if I were to be running this whole business, if it was my decision and they told me, okay, JB, Spec Ops is coming out, what is the path? How are we going to make Spec Ops new and innovative? How are we going to make Spec Ops a popular game mode that people are going to continuously come back and play in Call of Duty Modern Warfare? And I'll tell them one simple thing. Keep it updated. Now, I can see, you know, a bunch of base missions already in the game, but I'm thinking, why not every week add in a new mission? Or every 2 weeks add in a new mission? Now, I know it's a lot of time, and yes, there's money, especially if they're going to have to hire voice actors or any other thing of that sort. It's going to be money involved. But with all the money that you're making, I think that the community deserves it. I'm thinking like every 2 weeks, there should be a brand new mission that's put out. Or even weekly, a brand new mission that is put out. And with these weekly missions, they can give you benefits to your multiplayer side. They can give you more XP. They can give you special, you know, calling cards or emblems. They can unlock you new weapons. They can unlock you new attachments. You know, these missions, you have to give something behind it. But a weekly mission that would encourage people to come over, especially if there is a prize behind it. A prize behind completing that weekly mission. Then that will draw players back into Spec Ops. At least once a week. And that's honestly not bad, because honestly, in my personal opinion, just Spec Ops in general, it's not even going to be played once a week. People will probably play it for the first time, they'll replay it a couple of times, they'll try to get max stars on all the levels that there are, and then they're done. They're going straight back to multiplayer. But if you give players a reason to come over to Spec Ops, if you give them something that is useful to their multiplayer experience, because do remember that Infinity Ward said that campaign, multiplayer, and Spec Ops are all one thing. So if you rank up in campaign, you rank up in multiplayer and Spec Ops. If you rank up in Spec Ops, you rank up in multiplayer and campaign. So it's all shared information. So with this shared information, they should allow you to unlock new attachments. Maybe even new perks. Hell, why not? As long as the perks aren't stuffed into supply crates, which you have to pay for, I don't see anything wrong with that. All they're asking you is to grind a very simple Spec Ops mission, which you can easily get like 3-4 friends to play with you, or you could just squad up with a bunch of randoms. It'll take you no longer than an hour, and you'll have a brand new perk. Not only will that give you an incentive to get people back onto that game mode, to keep that specific game mode populated, but it would also allow players to enjoy it and remember Spec Ops. Remember it as something good, just like they remembered the Modern Warfare 2 Spec Ops. Those missions were great. And even though it wasn't replayable, back then during the time, that was something outstanding. That was something amazing. Content wasn't handed to us every single week like it is nowadays. So at the moment, it was really cool to see. But now in this modern time that we are in, with all the video games that are coming out, that are just jam-packed with content, they have to make sure that this is updated constantly. And like I said, if you allow them to win awards, whether it's, whatever it is, attachments or weapons, skins, I don't care. That is the best possible way that you can lure people back over. But I guess this is kind of a lot to ask. I mean, Activision, as you all know, is the greediest company in the world. And I'm asking them to fork out hundreds of thousands of dollars for one game mode to keep it populated by updating it very frequently. It's something that is a lot to ask of a greedy company. But I think that if they do this, this game mode could really succeed. But thank you all so much for tuning in to another video. Seriously, it really does mean the absolute world to me. If you're new to the channel and you're from the YouTube search, make sure that you subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification button. That bell notification button really helps you get notified with all of my recent uploads, and it's pretty much the only way that it will notify you with any videos I upload on this channel. Also, if you just want to chat with me or see me talk about video games or post some behind the scenes clips, you can catch me over on Twitter. And if you just want to catch me streaming, I'm always over on Twitch as well. Both of those @names are JbowenDaMan. Thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and as always, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out.